Do 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 do.
And we're recording.
Hey, I rode this morning for my 300th ride. I went live because sometimes they give you a shout out like, hey, see
That's
you.
nice.
I hate exercise doing 300 rides. And
Hey, Brillob's Legs 262. Good to see you this morning on ride number 5.
Hey, stay funny, not so funny.
Hey, beanpole with an egg. Yeah. No, that was the body conscious hate myself body thing. I'm not that person. Maybe I am now, but super skinny legs. It was like an egg on stilts. That was the big. I think it was a roommate. Maybe she would say, "I'm like an egg on stilts." So anyway, made me think of someone who hated themselves, which is where I thought we were going.
Yeah, I think compared to a flamingo in that respect.
Oh, I gotcha.
There's sticks and then like some crazy stuff that goes on.
Did you ever see that that movie where there's like the blob? His name was Bob, and he was like a gelatinous mutation that somehow became sentient. Yeah, that's me. And he was voiced by like Seth Rogen. Sure, that's my
I think that's like a spinoff from like one of the other movies. And
there's a very large Tina Fey. No, it's Reese Witherspoon. A very large Reese Witherspoon and Hugh Laurie is like a cockroach.
Saves the world. Doesn't she save the world? Yeah.
Yes, and Stephen Colbert is the president, and he keeps pressing the button that he thinks is getting him a latte, but it's nuclear war. Yeah. Yeah,
I hate that button.
And he's like, whoops. There's a design flaw in making these identical buttons, and they were like right next to each other.
I might need to watch that again.
It wasn't very good, but anyway, hi. How are you, Melissa?
I want to talk to you about how Christmas was different this year, and I really want to talk about the new year.
Okay,
I really want to talk about New Year, not just the New Year, but New Year plans.
Well, boy, do I have some Christmas talk for you, because I got to third-hand witness one of the Christmas moments that people think doesn't even really happen, in the form of, ding dong, come out front, somebody's here. Christmas morning, you barely have your clothing on, you're still, grumbling around in your coffee-laden fog, and it's the middle child's friend who is driving his brand new truck with the bow on top.
Shut the fuck up.
Driving around town with grandma. Let's look at my car. Had the video, walking outside, just floored. His jaw hit the ground, holding his head. He was just holding his head like he didn't know what to do. He didn't have a single word to come out of his mouth. He just stood there staring. And then they cut across, and you could see the video of the truck in the street parked like, it looked funny. It looked like Back to the Future. Well, Marty, your car's in the driveway. Did something happen to the truck? It was like parked in that kind of like badass corner angle. Yeah. And it had the big red bow on top of the cabin where the people are, whatever that's called. Oh my God. I was like, are you kidding me?
A car cool. For Christmas. And your kid's like, cool. I fucking got Yoda.
My kid got like an IOU and a coffee coupon. Right.
A hug, a handshake, and a high five.
Yeah. No, he really did get an IOU, because he's that child in particular whose friend this was. His gift is that he is going to go to South Cackalack in 2 short weeks, where the COVID restrictions is lighter. And he's going to the Mecca. He's going to BMW Proving Ground, and he's going to have a 2-day on-track defensive driving race.
Here's
techniques.
your brand new car, you brand new driver. Learn how to drive like a crazy fucking lunatic.
No, my kid gets that. Not the kid with the car. My kid
really?
Yeah, so he got an IOU, literally. It's like, here's the coupon that you will redeem in 2 weeks. Road trip with dad, going to the track, and they're going to learn aggressive defensive braking and like high speed, have the water, the car spins out, that kind of shit that I don't want to see ever.
The hydroplaning, recovering from.
No, I don't want to know about. Don't post it, because I don't want to see it. Right. Tell me that you didn't do it, and I'll be happier. So so it was kind of
That's kind of great. I think that's as much a gift for your husband as it is for anyone else.
I gotta say, because it was such a sizable commitment, we talked about it in advance. We said, look, this is that we don't want to. You're not a big surprise guy, because it's usually met with "damn it" and then light the house on fire. So we talked in advance and said, we're thinking of doing this thing. What do you think? And it kind of took some talking into. It was very weird.
I would love that.
I think because the stakes are so high, like risk of death and these sorts of, this is a tentative new driver.
So
and
here's what I love about it.
Put you in a car with a racetrack driver and they're going to say, okay, now floor it. Now flip the car over. Yeah.
Here's what I love about it. It is going to give a child who has no concept of risk versus danger, reward kind of thing, because they're invincible at that age. And mine's 3 years older and he's invincible still. And it gives them a reality check. It gives them a shit's going to go sideways while you're driving. Here's what you do. It gives them a plan as opposed to never having a plan because nothing's ever going to go wrong with me. I live a charmed life and I can make it through this red light even though it is raining and it is like it'll force him to make better choices and it'll better prepare him for when he doesn't or can't.
Well, it's interesting that you have that point of view because this child's, middle name Vince, last name Able. He is definitely vincible, not invincible. And he's not a daredevil. He's not one to think, I can do anything. Let's go jump out of the plane. No. So it took some chiding to say, because he also is, he's got the abacus going in his brain continuously. And he's like, okay, well, I see that this is a sizable investment. What if, counter proposal,
you give me the cash.
We were to take all those gold bars and stack them up as high to my neck, right? And then triple them. And I just gather them up with my big arms and run away. It's like, no, it's not. Yeah, it is excessive. It's tough. It's not easy for us to be able to make this happen. But the difference is it's the right time for you to have this happen. We tried to make it happen for the older one and it didn't, it couldn't. This is something that we're making an investment in you versus here's another pile of video game nonsense with all the accoutrement, right? That's not an investment in you. That's an investment against you. Right. And we don't want to make those. We don't want to make those anymore. So it's not like it's a this or anything else that costs as much as this. Right. So it's just, we really wanted to talk to you about it so you don't feel like
you got screwed.
Here's another really valuable gift that I don't even fucking want. So but
the look on their face when you do that, when you give an expensive, really thoughtful gift and they're that's not, I'd rather
thanks for not knowing me. Yeah.
Right. Can I have that in ones and can you put it on my duvet so I can roll in them?
Like,
why?
We try.
But that's what we said. We would give experiences. This is actually a quite expensive experience, but you're giving an experience.
It's both. It's the probably the trifecta, which is the reason that we said, you know what, life is too short. Let's go. It doesn't matter that we can't afford anything. Let's go. And the reason is the trifecta because it is an experience, right? So that's a memory that you're making you can keep. It's education, right? So you walk away knowing more, right? It's a skill that you're learning. So you're skill building. And it's a road trip with Dad, just the two of you. And in our gaggle, it's like we have 9 kids. We're on each other's tits, as we say, all the time. So to be able to do something isolated one-on-one doesn't happen for these two. It happens a lot with the third in line because of the whole lacrosse thing. They get these road trips. So this was another, So this was the thing where it was kind of like, okay, ticks all the boxes. Let's go. So,
is it too late to retroactively give my son the gift of a road trip with his father to Florida to clean out our Florida apartment?
Gosh, it sounds like a gift to you.
It does.
I mean, from you.
I mean, what? Yeah. Is it too late to?
Why are they cleaning it out?
Well, we're hoping to sell it. Not yet.
No,
we're hoping to sell it, but we have to. Well, we were hoping to have sold it so that the week between Christmas and the New Year, we could travel down there as a caravan or rent a van, go down there, and then take a pod or a U-Haul back up here with the stuff we do want. We'll sell it with furniture, but like we have a wardrobe down there pretty much for each of us, and we've got stuff, that's personal to us. So that was our hope. I guess I can't retroactively do that now.
Well, I mean, it would be helpful to sell the place first, but what do I know? We had the big deal for the friend. We had kind of a low-key Christmas here, but we did a lot of lead up that this was going to be low-key and different. Right to the point where, honestly, I had planned so much food, and I went a little bit out of, like, I burned up all the energy and then found more energy and burned that too. the 2 first days of the week, Christmas being on a Friday, Christmas Eve, Thursday night, because I was like, as soon as this is done, when Wednesday hits, I'm done. I'm not leaving. I'm not doing another thing. That's it. And I really worked hard, packed everything to the point where there's no room left in the fridge, the pantry, the nowhere. And it was great, but there was so much food. I sort of forgot that there was only 5 of us. By the time we got to what was supposed to be the second appetizer course on Christmas Eve, no, we couldn't eat anymore. So I just didn't make it. So I moved that to Christmas Day, which meant we weren't hungry for dinner, which was supposed to be this massive prime rib, which I've never cooked before. So I moved that to the day after Christmas. And it was like, that was one of the 2020, surprise, that worked. Because the only people who were in charge of when we ate was us. We didn't have to worry about people driving in or planning in or the timing or the get dressed and hurry up and it's on a schedule and because the schedule has to be kept and it's not just you and
so
can I
ask
want to watch
you,
this movie? Go. Yeah.
Was that nice?
Yes. It was great. It doesn't make up for, I would much rather have a schedule that allows me to be with all my people and see all my people. And I would rather have overflowing food because I know at any moment, ding dong, the door's going to ring and 6 extras who I didn't count on, we're going to roll in. That's what I want and will have again, always. That's my life. But if I can't have it, I also love that. And it took a little bit of work. I'm not going to kid anybody, including myself. But I also love that at some point I was able to short circuit my brain and say, but wait, you still control the schedule. Before when you controlled the schedule to make it better for all the things that were happening, that still is true. You just don't have to be on the Christmas dinner happens at Christmas dinner time. Christmas dinner can happen day after Christmas. And it
or
did.
2 days after
better.
Christmas.
It was much, much better.
Did Butters reap the benefits of this 10-pound prime rib?
Absolutely.
Is it because he sat next to you or did you put it in his bowl?
Yes. Both.
Okay.
I am the worst. I was the best in terms of rigidly adhering to the training tips and tricks that we got from our paid. He went to puppy camp when he was first born. And
40 days.
It traumatized him in the best sense where he never peed in the house. He never chewed up anything. Never. Probably because he was traumatized. Great. Whatever it takes. Right? Go outside. I paid for this.
Break him early, break him often. That's what I say.
But it also made him really standoffish. He would not sleep on the bed with us. He would always sort of sleep up against a wall or up against a piece of furniture. Or he would go sleep on the tile. Probably because he'd been sleeping in a crate, in a kennel all this time with other dogs and known to comfort or soothe. Well, I would adhere to that. And I wouldn't break any of if you're supposed to do it this way, you do it this way. And the other guys would train him to say, it's okay to jump up on me. It's okay to play tug with me, as opposed to if you're holding something, you drop it. All these kinds of things that make it counterintuitive and go against what he was trained. So anyway, fast forward to a couple of years later, once, maybe a year ago, we had a party guest. It was our neighbor who, 2 years ago, who fed him from his plate while sitting on the sofa. And I almost killed him. You
stroked out.
I swear to God, I almost killed him. And everybody looked at him in my family, oh my God, my mom's going to kill you. Now it's a crime scene. It was a serious infraction. And I was just oh, you're a guest. Okay. And I just didn't do anything about it. And then it sort of was the slippery slope. And probably for a month and a half, 2 months, people would maybe drop something. And then I thought, well, fuck it. And once, while sitting on the sofa in the same Rick spot, I fed the dog from my plate, and now it's all over. Just last night, the dog came up while I didn't even have a plate and decided, you're in my seat, you're in the feeding seat, and he took his nose and paw and doinked my computer until it closed. He shut the laptop while I was working on it, and roof, barking now. Barking, shutting.
Get the fuck out of my way.
Well, at least I have him trained. The others, he will take his paw and put it on you and pull back. It really does feel like a scrape. It's kind of tough. And when you're wearing a little thin, kind of even jeans, that scrape gets all the way through to the skin. It fucking hurts. So at least he knows enough where he does it very gentle. When he puts his paw on me, he'll put it on and he'll just rest it and then pat it back so that he doesn't scrape me because he knows I'll flip out. But he'll do that incessantly and irritatingly until I give him what he wants, which is to get up and go give him cheese, which I do.
So he wasn't asking for his spot on the couch. He was asking for food.
He said, stop what you're doing and go
because I'm
give
about
me a
to
treat
ruin.
now.
Wow.
because I'm not interested in whatever you're doing on your laptop or even watching TV. And sometimes he just wants scratchies, like scratch my ears, pay me attentions, please. And now, but the good news about it is we've prison broke him. As much as we have all the horrors of an inmate living with us, now he totally sleeps on the bed. He wants to cuddle with you. He wants to take your blanket. He leaves you cold in the middle of the night.
That's why you get a dog, though.
That's right.
The whole purpose.
Yeah. So he no longer, we have these really big, super soft, a hump of blankets, and he'll wad those up and try to hump them, which is super gross. But he's connected with the blankets, is how we like to say. So
I have watched one of my female dogs lick her vulva. And then lick my husband in the face. So I really, when it comes to somebody humping a blanket, it's not as gross as some of the shit I've seen.
Does he know this is the order of events?
No, he doesn't. And it's better that he doesn't. What? I mean, she gets in there, she cleans herself out, and then she's like, "Oh, I love you, Daddy." And it's really gross. And you're talking to somebody who will but who feed them their own, eye excrement. So
that's sanitary.
So yeah, it's gross. Fucking gross. But so to hump a blanket, that's really child's play.
Anyway. So yeah. So he had his first ever, to get back to Christmas. He had his first ever Christmas because every other Christmas for his life is spent at the kennel. Right? He goes back, and I'm sure they treat him quite well, and it is a big farm, and they let him out, and they run in this big area, and he plays with lots of other dogs, so it's not a totally isolating experience the whole time. It is for most of the time.
Right.
Anyway, so, because we travel, and you ain't coming with us.
And you're not traveling for a weekend. You're traveling for a week. Like, you're gone for a fat chunk. Year. So he's almost getting used to back being against the wall or in the kennel.
Honestly, and they bill it as it's a training refresher. So when they get there, they sort of double down on, oh no, you're going to sit before I put your food down, and you're going to wait before I tell you.
And you're going to stay in a sit. Right. It's when I release you.
Yeah, as opposed to, good morning, here's my foot on your leg, scraping it. I
Feed
need
me,
cheese.
bitch.
Yeah, so it's not, I don't really reinforce. So in any event, so Christmas this year, he just couldn't stop smiling. His ears were back the whole time. His whole ass cheeks were like lifting off the ground from his butt wagging so hard. And he would like bump into shit from being off center from wagging while he walked. Like he just was sort of like, I don't know what the fuck is happening, and I love it.
Yeah.
So he was very, very excited. So by the time it came to Prime Rib Day, which was, 2 days after package unwrapping and dropped pepperoni's day, so he really had a good time. He's really been living the dream. And it's hard reality coming your way because it's only going to go downhill from here. But in that life.
But like this morning, we fed the dogs, and our biggest of the nightmares of our canines, he didn't eat. And then, something's off with him. So I'm going to tell you that if you have this dog, you don't have him forever. You're not releasing him into the world to live a great life. These dogs are big and warm and wonderful, and your time with them is finite. So I'm going to tell you that it's better that he puts his paw on you and says, cheese, please. Dairy, not so great for him. I did pour Stuart made poached. Oh, my husband found. All right, I found it. TikTok has changed my life. Can we say that?
Why are you on there all the time? It's like you're a young person. Does
Here
it
is
make
why.
You young?
Here is
the fountain
why.
Of talk. Okay,
this is an example of why.
I'd like to hear.
While watching TikTok, they have this part 27 of how Amazon has changed my life. Okay, TikTok, tell me. And a woman shows you these silicone little cups that you spray with Pam cooking spray, and you put an egg in, and it's like a sous vide kind of thing where you're going to put that silicone thing into boiling water, and you're going to make poached eggs. You give it 6 minutes in there, and they are fucking perfect, and they are fucking delicious.
In where? In a micro or in a boiler?
In a a steep pan, one that Stuart said, I bought this so you could make me shrimp fra diavolo, and you made it for me twice. And that was 17 years ago. I'm like, well, you're welcome.
Mission accomplished.
Well, you're welcome. I'm sure.
I didn't sign up for the shrimp fra diavolo of the month club.
I'm sure what you meant to say.
You got it.
Was thank you. And you're welcome. So I said, aren't you grateful now? So he pours these things in there, and they are floating like little happy creatures you cover it. They're perfect. So eat. That's delightful. And this dog hasn't eaten, and I poured the yolky stuff that's left over his food, right?
Yeah.
Because I only allowed myself one piece of crusty bread to soak up what I could, and what was left, he got. And that he ate. So now I'm thinking, all right, you're not dying yet. You still could be sick, but food is still, but he didn't eat his food, and that's usually not the case. So they are finite in our lives, and I am all for laying your yolk on top of whatever they want. Giving the cheese, dairy is not so great, but giving whatever meat, like the German bologna I get from the Amish market, nothing makes them happier. Like that is just...
I do. He's a regular egg eater, and my husband cooks him the egg.
Stuart does too. I swear to God.
Crazy. He cooks it. He cools it off. He carries it over. He puts it in the thing. I'm like, here's my, pro tip, guys. I make fantastic eggs in every way. So I'm great with eggs. Just to say, I'm humble usually. Not so with eggs. I'm great with eggs.
Just got excited.
Fried eggs, fantastic. I've mastered fried eggs. I've mastered scrambled eggs. Scrambled eggs are kind of like a who cares?
No, I love scrambled eggs.
I made scrambled eggs for just Brian and me, probably on Christmas morning. I don't know where the other kids were. And honestly, he was like, what'd you do to these eggs? And I said, I made them with care, which is different than how I normally make scrambled eggs. And I didn't mean it in an ugly way, but it was the truth. Like I put a lot of thought and intention into they were amazing. When you just let them cook, really, it was just eggs, butter, salt, pepper, nothing else, and technique. Oh my God, they were so creamy. They were so good. Anyway, back to the fried egg. So the secret to fried eggs is I make 1.5 eggs. So how many eggs do you want? I want 1. I give you 1.5. So I will give you an egg full, and then I will give the white of a second egg, so that it feels like this really big, delicious, delightful, yummy. So no matter how many eggs you want, you always get the half of the of the other egg. So I'm left with yolks a lot, and I don't cook them. I don't put them in a bowl. I usually just, truthfully, hold out the shell with the yolk in it, and he just plop until he starts eating the shell, and then I'm like, no, let me have
right.
It.
You can't have that.
You're done.
You
That's
are a
over.
trash can. You're just not a trash can.
He's like, I don't care. Yeah, so he's used to this, and we got a lot of egg eaters, so that's a lot of yolk, yo. So he's used to getting batty food for him.
We get pallets and pallets of eggs from Costco.
Yeah, because your guys don't eat food really; they just eat the eggs.
We eat a lot of eggs in our house. But now that we've figured out, so TikTok taught me that. It's taught me so many things. I gotta
stop though. Why? How did you even start? Because you won't get off it. You're on it all the time. I'm afraid to even put it on my phone because it's like filled up with commies and all sorts of weirdies. You can't go on there. So and sexers, it's not a good place for you.
I hear what you're saying, but similar to the way all of your other social media platforms have an algorithm
that exactly the same way. Yeah.
That give you what you want. So does TikTok. Like my daughter is trapped in a Marvel comic / Harry Potter TikTok shit.
I don't really good
ever see because
but you're looking up lesbian bread making, and that's the weirdest thing for you to see.
I am disappointed. I'm no longer on her thing. I don't know how it happened, but now I'm on like hacks and building things, and I don't know how I got on that either. But they're totally interesting to me. And celebrities. Rosie O'Donnell just joined TikTok, and I love her. Mandy Patinkin and his wife get interviewed by their son on ridiculous things. Like, what do you think slide into my DMs mean? And all of a sudden they start coming up with like other words for DM. And I said, it's the most obvious thing. It's direct message. But no. They just have no idea. So that's fun to watch. A lot of the music is fun to watch. There's a young girl who plays acoustic guitar, which I could watch all day long. So it really it specializes it for you. It's really focused on you.
But aren't you super isolated? Don't you? I mean, it's a feed. It's like watching the television, right? It's super isolating. So to me, I think of TikTok, perhaps foolishly. Perhaps this is my flaw.
Short attention span theater.
I think of it as a social platform. And so when I go on there for the first time, not knowing what it is, because one of my kids has like 1 million followers, kids' friends, and they're like, go and follow Beckett or whoever the hell and dopity dope and click, fine. So I go on and I have like 3 people who are like, what the fuck? That's not social. I just feel sad. Why? And then I got to search around for things that aren't like gross and weird, pimple popping and
that I never get. Well, then you're weird because if you're getting weird things,
because who's on there? Jessica with her fucking foxes, you with lesbians making bread, and I don't got anybody else. Beckett the DJ. So it's a pretty weird, eclectic mix so far. How am I supposed to beat this algorithm unless
search.
I sit there? But I've got to spend time in it. Like, and the other thing is, what's the incentive that someday one of these microscopic videos of a nurse doing lip sync to a funny rap video is going to be humorous? Like, that's the plan. That's the goal.
So the reason I got on here in the first place is I have a child on the platform and I'd like to know what they're seeing, which is kind of stupid because I don't see what she's seeing. I definitely don't see what she's seeing. She could be down a dark rabbit hole of whatever. And I see what
I see what she posts, but
I can see what
she sees. Yeah.
So I got on there and I have to tell you, if coronavirus wasn't a thing, I wouldn't be on TikTok, but I find myself with some extra time these days.
You're so lying. You're lying.
And super comfy couches. And before you know it, there's a 2-dog on top of you minimum. And then you're just there scrolling.
I don't know. Maybe I should give it another try.
You should. It's enjoyable. And there are no commies there unless you want to see commies. And there are no, there's...
Oh, they'll find me. They'll absolutely find me. All the 4chans. They all come after me. They'll find me. They always do. And I don't want to talk politics. I don't. But they come at me.
Yeah, so I just look. I don't post anything. I just watch. No. And occasionally I'll make a comment on. There's a woman here in Pennsylvania who's a visiting nurse, and her politics align perfectly with mine. So I occasionally say, that I occasionally give her a thumbs up or something funny she did or something she said. But for some reason, I'm now getting these young kids who are getting smashed into by Karens or who are parking so that they're like parking lot crazies. So if you park right next to each other so close you can't open the door.
I had one of those.
Punishment for somebody
in real
else
life. I had one of those in real life. Yeah.
Recently?
And I didn't do it. No, I didn't do anything wrong. I just had somebody decide that the communal parking space behind our row house in Wilmington was somehow his. And he did that to my little tiny Honda with his gigantic truck. It was kind of alarming.
It's terrifying.
He also, within the same month, fell asleep while he was cooking something. And so I called the fire department because I thought the building was on fire because the hallway was filled up with smoke. And when they came, they were like, oh no. And they brought out like a smoking, smoldering, red hot, also now black at the same time, somehow pan, because he was cooking something and was going to burn the fucking place down. So he left shortly thereafter and I got all the parking. Fuck you, fire hazard. Yeah, so
Fugazi gets all the parking.
I'm just trying to say that's what happened. So I digress. I'm just here to tell you, though.
I like it. I like it a lot.
I don't know. It frightens me. These little kids, they do too many things, and it's all out in public, and it's questionable copyright laws.
The dances, the music, it's all fun. And if it's not fun, you just scroll on to the next one, and the algorithm says, oh, she didn't like that. Or you tap it and say, I don't want to see anything else like this. And it disappears, and you don't
I'm not always thinking, but the second that I do this, it crosses my mind that I'm somehow going to tap it in such a way where now I get flooded with porn. And I just don't want that. I super don't want the porn. Is that in the back of your mind thinking like, and I might get porn?
No, I don't want porn. First of all, the maximum is 60 seconds. It's a maximum of a minute, I think.
Well, what's the difference with that? Who cares?
Well, I don't want a minute.
That's no good?
I don't want a minute of porn. And if you do, I think you should watch Bridgerton on Netflix.
How much porn do you need?
I'm going to invite you to watch Bridgerton.
Oh my gosh, I'm besieged with Bridgerton.
On Netflix.
All the time besieged with Bridgerton. And now the pressure's on because now it's too high. I don't want it to suck. I know it won't suck.
It won't suck, but could it possibly not meet the expectations you've now heard from?
No, not in the slightest, because here's the thing. I loved Scandal. I was sucked in. I didn't know anything about it until it was on probably Netflix. And I was, back in the time when House of Cards was a thing. And I came across Scandal at roughly the same time. And I was able to watch all of the seasons that existed, like, vroom. And that made it great. And I was really excited. But I've never once, you got to hold on to something very strong here and put the bit in your mouth.
Go ahead.
I never once have seen Grey's Anatomy. Not a single episode. I couldn't even tell you what it's about. I think it's a doctor show. So I'm not like
because anatomy is right there in the title.
I'm not like a Shonda Rhimes or ride or die kind of gal, other than I know that she's a force and a powerhouse, and I super respect and love her, and I want to know more about everything that she's done when I hear about her life in the arts. But at the same time, it's like, yeah, I didn't come up with you. You did Scandal? Great. So she did Grey's Anatomy. She did Scandal. Didn't she do like 3 or 4 other series? Is this too?
Yeah. So
because she did Bridgerton is the point of me telling all this.
Yes, she did Bridgerton, but with Grey's Anatomy, I think I'm a little jealous of you because when you see a series that goes for 15 years.
Is that how long it went? It's done now, right?
No, it is not done yet.
What do you mean it's not done? It's still, when they keep saying Grey's Anatomy, like Friends, up in the Netflix feed. First of all, I'm not going to watch either one of those. Are you trying to tell me there's new episodes of Grey's Anatomy?
Yes.
Why?
Well, they're on a winter hiatus. I think it comes back in March. But yeah, is this the last season? Probably. But yeah, they're going to finish
Are
through
all the
May.
original characters dead? Or moved on to other hospitals?
Many, many, many of the original characters are dead. It's funny. Yeah, they are, actually. And I
have to be.
And I said to Stuart, you've been at your job for over 15 years. Let's look at the staff that was there. Are 70% of those people dead? And he's like, no, those guys are still coming to work every day. So Shonda Rhimes also is hosting a Peloton series of saying yes. This
well,
is the
she
year.
did like the year of being as awesome as me.
That's what she's doing.
She did a whole book about
the year of yes.
She's one of those toxic positivity people that makes me really angry, but I'm going to give it to her because it works for her. There's a certain point where people try to motivate you in the same ways that they find motivating,
which doesn't work.
Everything that they say makes me want to just
punch him in the face.
Yes, but harder, like worse. Punch him in the face with an active fire hose, like the brass nozzle first, and then turn it so that all the water is on their face, in their mouth, and chokes them to death so they drown. A waterboarding.
Or
I don't like them.
Or
and you could
just say, no, thank you. That doesn't work for me. But
maybe that's an option too. But I'm just here to say, this whole thing about when people post stuff, if you didn't find your hustle in 2020, you ain't never going to find it. Like all this kind of stuff. And I think, you know what? Also, fuck off.
Right.
Because you have no idea how many legs of the stool have snapped off, splintered. And,
right underneath me.
Straight through
my ass.
My thing that makes me think in the head and gave me a lobotomy. What's that part? Temple? Yeah. So through the eye socket also. And then also in the carotid artery. All of them at once. So is it really
right from the stool you're sitting on? That's a direct line.
Yeah. And you have to pull it out and then put it back on the stool and then balance on that while you also keep doing everything you're doing before plus hustle.
Yeah, which is why when before I started Peloton, I was like, yo, that works for you and that's fine. I vote no. But I guess I found my way of doing it. And when people say, come do this ride with, no, I am on an individual path to wellness because fuck you, and dear you, fuck you too.
That's right. All of you. Fuck
all
and
of
all.
You.
And
especially the ones who say you have to do it this way, or if you don't do it, you have no idea what you're talking about. And I'm happy for you that you found your way. Your way is not my way.
There's a time and a place when you're in the moment. Yeah, there's the right kind of motivation for the moment. Because I've fundamentally become a different person in this year. I see your Peloton, beautiful looking drinker that you're drinking from. It's gorgeous.
Yeah, is it?
I thought it was a Yeti. What's that? As a sticker from the University of Delaware?
Yeah, I'm decorating my Yeti with Peloton and University. Actually, maybe all of the colleges my son gets into will send me stickers.
You should get a TikTok sticker and put all your habits and hobbies.
Hey,
no, listen. So I'm just trying to say, all of that. You've got 30 days. You've got 30 minutes. You can do this. Dig deeper. I don't want to hear it. Failure's not an option. That stuff typically works for me. You put the finger up. It typically works for me. But for some reason, this year, and I don't know if it was a different way that kind of motivation was coming at me, or if it was just the timing, or both. I feel like it was both. I feel like it was especially aggressive.
Like the perfect storm?
Yeah. It was more aggressive than usual and totally tone deaf. And it was coming at me and coming at everybody. And it just, on some days, it just felt tone deaf. And on other days, it felt like getting punched. It was that, honestly, when people say toxic, like I super get it. So now I'm at least back to the place where I know it seems silly, but that whole idea of choosing when we eat and what we eat and how we're going to do it and not being kind of the whole time thinking about it, really not.
Don't eat that now. It's almost lunchtime. Don't eat that now. You know what? This is what we're doing now. Let's roll with it more.
Having all of that be different and feel directed by what you wanted to do was so welcome. So I'm trying to keep that same approach going with, I've got some lofty goals for the coming year. They're terrifyingly lofty. I've made some big changes for the coming year. And every day I'm doing more each day than I have been doing. And I'm just trying to ignore the fact that it's still so laughably small compared to what my regular life has always been.
Right.
My regular life has always been very productive and very busy. On a scale of 1 to very busy, I was sort of off the charts busy. And then it exponentially increased year after year after year to the point where it was not even sustainable by anybody with extra engines. Like, it was nonsense. Then 2020 happened and I ground not only to a halt, but like dug this hole where getting out of bed felt like an accomplishment. I mean, honestly, I had a child come home from school in the middle of the year and say, well, you know, what did you do today, Mom? And I said, I had a really big day. And the very next thing that I was going to say, and I stopped myself, was I actually got up and made myself something to eat. I'm not kidding. He asked me, what did you do today? And my whole body was flooded with, I had such a big, great day. I did a lot today. And all I had done was basically get up and move out of the room. And I'm not kidding. And that was like, oh, fuck, this is a real problem. So, I mean, trying to claw back from that shit. Yeah, I did the year of yes, Shonda. Fuck you. That's my yes. Here it comes.
That is tone deaf, because when you're finding comfort in baked goods, you're not finding comfort in literally the opposite of what that is. Like, get on the bike. I'm like, go fuck your bike. Like, I can't with you. I can't even entertain. And you're right. It's bite by bite. Like, you slowly I turn.
Right.
By step.
So more power to you for all the people who have used their 2020 to do all the creative projects and completely reinvent their house and build an addition and do everything to the zenith, to the end. You know why? It's because you probably had finances under control and had kids who were safe and healthy and had laundry list, a business that didn't threaten to go under or actually go under or require continuous reinvention like so many. You know, it's just the on and on. You probably you weren't marching in the streets for social, because this was the time. When you look back on how much shit that has happened in 2020, you kind of can't even believe. I mean, even thinking back to the painting in the street and the marching and all the rest of this stuff that I did. And I just kind of don't even believe that it was this year. I'm still hung up on, and we're still wearing masks. And so anyway, this has been and continues to be such a crazy ride. I'm profoundly grateful that Christmas even happened. Right? In any kind of semblance of normalcy.
But it happened in a really beautiful way. So now that Christmas is in our rear view, we're looking at the new year, and less New Year's Eve, because we're not 7, and we're also not 17, which is the other.
Well, pressure's off too. It's probably going to take me the entire year of 2021 to take down the Christmas decorations that took all year to put up. And that's, again, I'm like, I don't have time to feel bad and have stress. So when that shows up, I'm like, fuck off. It's going to happen all it's going to happen.
So my question really is, dear listener, what are your plans for 2021? I want to know, because of the way your life has been restricted for the last almost year, what are your most important goals for 2021? I used to have goals. I'm going to travel here. I'm going to travel there. I'm going to see this country. I kind of want to see certain people. I think I said this before. One of my many goals for 2021 is getting to North Carolina to see Fugazi and her family. Is to sit in West Hartford and visit a friend's kitchen. I want to sit in her kitchen and play stupid card games with her kids. And like, there are just the simple things like that I never considered traveling before. I'm going to West Hartford. Well, that's not really traveling. That's getting in the car and going to see your friend. But to me now, from where I am, deep in the hole on the couch with the baked goods, it's going to be, those are the simple things that I really, 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 took for granted that I could leave the state. So that's going to be my toe in the pool. I do have grander goals, but I am curious, dear listener, if you'd like to write in and let us know what they are at brilliantobservations@gmail.com. If you don't want to write a letter because you're anti-letter writing and you want to put it on our Facebook page, we're Brilliant Observations there too. You can catch us at Listen Brilliant on Twitter or Instagram. And we just really want to connect with you in this way because you've been with us for this year of deprivation, really, and overindulgence, if that's even possible to have both at the same time. I want to know what you're doing as you step out of your box.
And this is not helping you stay accountable. This is not, put it in writing as the first path to achieving your goal. We don't fucking care if you get what you want in 2021 or work for it. The reality is to have a desire, to have a hope, to have anything that feels like a forward thought, dare say a plan.
Yeah.
That's a huge fucking accomplishment. And so all you're doing is saying, I get a gold star because here it is. That's it.
Say it out loud.
Middle, and end. That's all, right? And if you get there, if you don't, if you make progress toward it, if you decide you don't want to do it, that's all A-okay too. So
you're not holding you to anything. We're not going to check in with you later. We're going to be really impressed that you've had thoughts as opposed to eating thoughts.
There are things that we all naturally let fall away this year, and the things that you kept for a reason. And one of them was us. And we're very grateful. And so we're going to be there for you in 2021 as well. Even if that means saying, well, that shit didn't work. So I got a lot of experience in that, by the way.
Which is also a super important thing to be able to recognize, because how are you going to have any other goals if you don't try something, see it didn't work, and move on? We are with you for this journey because you're with us for ours. And on that note, Amy, give me one. Give me one of your goals for 2021.
Oh God, here we go.
Just one.
No, it's a big one.
Okay.
It's an absolute big one. I've set an unrealistic and yet realistic timeline.
Aren't those writing. The best?
For writing. No, I am a trained, degreed creative writer. It is what I studied to do, and I had a lot of promise, and I immediately went toward paying jobs. And I am thoughtfully and kind of perhaps foolishly, but thoughtfully pivoting my life so that I can dedicate a huge chunk of my time toward doing those creative projects. And I'm going to do that. And I have a lofty goal of finishing the first known project in the first quarter. So I won't say April 1st because that's a stupid day and it doesn't belong on the calendar. So by April 2nd, I will have the working draft of one of the projects that's been languishing for a long time. So, and then I'll move on to the next one, and then I'll move on to the next one, and I'll move on to the next one. And get ready 2021. And I told myself this all came, the active worked out plan was signed into being, so to speak, in early December, and I've been keeping it under wraps. I'm taking a huge step back from my business and able to do this, which is super exciting and what I've wanted, and feels like the world's biggest weight off my shoulders. I didn't realize how much I wanted it until it happened. But I also said, I've got a set number of pages I have to do each day. I'm not like one of these goal people. I'm going to write it all out and, check your weight. No, I'm not fucking doing that. But if I hit a reasonable number of pages starting in January, I'll hit that goal. And I started today. So one of the reasons that we didn't podcast early this morning, as usual, is because I was doing some writing.
Oh, yay!
And it came really fast and easy. And it's so there's that, at least.
That's wonderful.
Yep.
Wow, that's amazing. I don't know why you're laughing. That's amazing.
Because it's crazy, but I don't care.
You're also wearing a mask inside your home.
Well, we have some, one of the other things that I decided to do was to reinstate having a team of folks come and help us not be so
Filthy?
overwhelmed by our own filth.
Okay.
And when they're on the same floor as we, out of courtesy, we all wear masks.
Yep. Okay, I hear you. I have. You're not going to believe this. The 2 leaks that we had in our house are being fixed simultaneously today. And today, and today I was mask wearing as well. So
Beautiful.
I FaceTimed you. I took my mask off as soon as I could, and there you were wearing a mask. I'm like, hey, I know that face. I did search and see the, ridiculous 55 best New Year's resolutions. 1, build a better budget. Fuck the budget. Cook one new thing each week. I think you mean cook one thing each week.
How about cook one less? We've all been cooking every fucking meal. Okay.
Well, I'm trying to support local businesses, so I will be, importing.
I'm trying to support my local bank account, so I cook
there's
everything.
that.
I cook everywhere. I cook anyway. Well, what's next? What's the other one?
Read more books.
That is on my list. I'm tried to, and then did not succeed because I got pissed off to order Neil Gaiman. I'm not sure if I'm saying his name properly.
Gaiman, yep.
Well, I think I love all his stuff, but then I also hate his stuff. So that's the hard part. Well, I really loved American Gods. I thought that was transformative and spectacular. It was one of the many things. I was like, God, why am I not writing? Like, you see these things and you think, why am I not writing? And then I realized he also wrote like Coraline, which is a great story, but it's horrible. And I wish I'd never been told it. So why do these good doers have to also be evil? Why?
Because nobody is one thing. We are all complex individuals that are made up of systematic
I call such bullshit on that. I swear to you, I am more frightening. I'm sorry to cut you off. I am more frightening than Stephen King. I terrify myself. The nightmares that I have, the stories that I come up with are so shocking. It's so horrific. If I wrote it down, I would be the best and most sickening horror person ever. And I won't do it. I won't do it because why would I put that out into the world? Why? I won't even be a comic because it's too easy to be mean. I would be like a mean-spirited comic and be really fucking funny. But why would you be that? I don't know.
Because it's rewarding. Because it brings some people joy.
Can't Stephen King write something happy? He's a great writer. Can you imagine if he wrote something that made you want to snap your fingers and smile?
People would wait to turn the page.
Instead of sit in the corner wetting yourself. Like, why? Why do you do this?
He's so good at it. That's why he's so good at it.
It's awful.
He found his niche.
That good looking. He's another one. He's an excellent writer based on volume. 3 pages. He writes 3 pages a day, every day, without fail. For every single day, for always. So then that cute looking actor is going to be in The Stand. They're redoing The Stand again, and that cute little actor you see him all the time, and you think, why didn't you ever make it? He was in that movie Hop. He's the lead character in Hop. He's always like a Disney prince. I'm sure he's someone.
I'm trying
to think. Did you ever watch that movie Hop?
No,
with
no.
Russell Bank, the British mealy-mouthed guy who wants to tell you how to live your life with all the curly hair. Russell Brand, who he was the bunny in Hop, and then there was a guy whose life he tortured, and that was the guy.
James Marsden.
Sure. Okay, that sounds right.
He was the prince
like a soccer player.
He's always a Disney something. Yeah,
he's always like hi, here are my teeth. Yeah.
So he's going to be in The Stand. All right.
Yeah. So now I have to be scared
again. All right. This one says to join a club. No. Stick to a cleaning schedule that you plan out. And
join a club. No.
Drink less alcohol. No.
You could join a club though. You've joined the Pella Club.
No. Quit smoking. Never started. Eat veggies regularly.
Like to smoke.
Suck it.
Vegetables are delightful.
We do that anyway. Properly. Stop it. Share your resolutions one-on-one. Fuck you. Try a new diet plan. Again. Suck it.
No. Come on.
Book all of your doctor's visits for the year.
Who has a doctor? Okay, next.
No. What doctor? Take the stairs. Fuck you. No, I'm going to take the elevator. Cut. They're all about eating. Oh, become a plant owner.
This is a very sad list. It's a sad and disconnected list.
Plan a vacation. Now you're talking. All right.
Yeah, but I've already got a vacation planned. So it was planned optimistically in the early days of COVID.
Yeah.
And because all the airlines were saying, just book it, please. We're going under. Just book it, and we'll refund everything. And it's only going to cost 16 cents. People were booking trips to like Tokyo. They were going everywhere because everything was so cheap. And I thought, well, it is zero risk cancellation. What's the difference? So we booked something for February, and I'm just waiting to cancel. So we'll see.
I'm waiting for you to get a vaccine so you can go.
So, yeah, we'll see. We're in line.
I hope you can go. Drink more water is another one. I'm on that
You could go. You could go. You're welcome to join us on the canceled vacation since you wanted to book one anyway. And you don't even have to join a club to do it, and there'll be lots of alcohol. Guaranteed.
Drink more water. Here's my favorite one. Consider therapy.
That's a goal? Oh, wow. I told you this list is shitty.
You're shooting high, huh?
This is a sad list.
Consider
Just somebody
therapy.
like in their bed, under the fully under the covers, like typing from the light of the laptop thing under the covers, like, meet your deadlines. Click,
Consider
type. How many more do I need for the list? Clean your bathroom. Yeah.
Volunteer.
Goals.
Volunteering's pretty good. I don't know where you're going.
I volunteer all the time. No, I volunteer all the time. That's easy. Yeah, that's
Listen
like
to
goals.
novels while you work out. That's two birds right there, my friend. Listening to novels and working out. That's two birds.
Do that. I can't do it.
Lift weights.
Who made this list?
I don't know. It's good.
They're all the same thing, broken out into like individual.
You're right.
Bullet
This
points.
one says do one new exercise move.
You've already told us 6 exercises. Walk up the stairs. How many exercises do I have to do? Eat vegetables. That's a form of exercise.
It is for me. Decorate with family history. They have really cute picture frames of your family around you, and so decorate.
That has been a goal of mine that's been unmet for my entire life.
Ooh,
I'll continue to not meet that.
Sanitize your phone weekly. Ooh.
How are these goals?
I don't know. Maybe
Is this really a goal? Did I miss the title? Is this not goals?
Yeah.
Is this just things that you won't do?
55 achievable New Year's resolutions for healthier, and happier life.
Resolutions. I will be happier if I sanitize my phone. No,
Try hydrotherapy. Is this like Sarah floats?
Yes, I'm not doing it. I'm not going to do it. No.
You're going to love this. Delegate more chores.
Sure. Otherwise known as eliminate chore completion.
Exactly. Yeah. Either I do it or it doesn't happen. Keep clutter out of the kitchen. Wear your workout gear that makes you feel good. All right. Can I ask you about that for a second?
You can.
So I've made it clear I ride. So when I ride, I like to ride in either Lycra or spandex shorts or capris, and tank tops because it gets way too hot down there and I can't. So why are those pants so fucking expensive? They range from $78 to $249 for a pair of Lycra pants.
Well, they're only expensive at the places where you buy them. In the same way that your Yeti tumbler is expensive because it's a Yeti tumbler. You can get the same performance out of a similar product and not pay that price. Having said that, you should be expecting to pay $30 to $50 for decent workout gear. And by decent, it's because it's performance fabric and it has to hold up under, it has to perform. It's a compression fabric.
Are you saying that my pants work harder than most pants?
I know you're being cute, but the truth is yes.
Oh my
God. They're performing a function on you. They're compression clothing, right? So they're increasing your circulation by squeezing your body. It's compression, right? And they are performance fabric that has to hold up to more frequent laundering and
that's true.
A lot of sweat and abuse. It's not just like cotton fiber, linen fiber, right? It's also got to stand up to the friction of fabric on fabric moving against itself. If you've got a tank on and your shirt with sleeves on, you're lifting weights. So your arms are going to be brushing against your torso. Your legs pumping as you're on the Peloton are going to be moving against each other. It's performance fabric. But does it have to be $200, $300? No. Why are you buying? You could buy a bike for that.
I'm not buying it. Somebody actually that I know and love purchased a Peloton, and I gave them a code, which gave me $100 credit and for clothes, really. So I got a couple of tank tops for $100.
Nice. Yeah, those aren't performance fabrics.
No, they're not.
That's the performance of purchase. That's the
label.
Purchase performance.
That's the label fabric.
Watch me
but
while
their
I buy.
Pants are $100 for a pair of pants, and I saw
that's a ripoff.
I saw the joy in 2 tank tops over 1 pair of pants. And dear Old Navy, can you perform and hold my shit together?
No. I thought you were talking about the Lululemon. And the other thing is they really do hold up. They maintain but they maintain they're made better. They maintain their shape. They hold up after when you have to wear them a lot. It's like, why do people pay for Danskos? At a certain point, there's a product that's made well. And if you're using it a lot, it's worth it to have it.
Well, then I'll tell you this, dear listener.
For the casual biker who's, maybe more interested in the tumbler with the sticker than the actual pants, I think you're okay.
I'm okay at Old Navy. Well, I will tell you this, dear listener. The $158 pants at Lululemon are stripped of its label and sold under the Kirkland brand at Costco. The very same pants that are manufactured at Lululemon for $16.99.
You're kidding.
No. Costco has other brands. They just label it.
Well, I have a pair of Kirkland pants, and it has like a weird pocket in it. And I was like, how did this get in there? Maybe I have some faux Lulu.
No, they're not faux at all. They are Lululemon pants made in the Lululemon. I can't stand that name. In the lemon factory with all the other
They are made of lemons. I agree. Banana pants.
What's up, sour pants? So writing and leaving the house is true.
Yeah, that's it for me. I'm just doing the one. The health.
That's a big one.
Well, it's a profession. I'm doing a profession change. To be fair, I've sold my business and I'm giving it a year. And I have had this thing in the back burner as more or less a hobby, and every time it threatens to take off and somebody is interested in this or that or the other, I sort of run as fast as I can in the opposite direction. And I'm too old. And the 2020 cracked me open too hard. Fuck it. I'm doing it. And then if it doesn't work, I'll know the answer. So there it is. And that feels even bigger than saying it out loud. That feels so big. It's kind of crazy. It is like John Malkovich saying, I want to be a puppeteer. I mean, it's the stupidest, and you're like, but okay, but that's what and then people going, okay, you can be a puppeteer.
But that's you investing in you. And to be honest, I would invest in you in a heartbeat.
Well, I'm very grateful for that. I'm very grateful for that. It feels incredibly selfish, but it also, I'm just getting past that part and saying that I have done it in a way where I have a timeline to meet. And at the end of that timeline, it was like, I think Matt Damon's dad gave him one of these talks too. He said, yeah, you could be an actor for a while, but, as soon as you get married, you got to give all this shit up and go down and work at Ace Hardware. Cause you got to have the money. You got to do the thing. So at a certain point, yeah, I've given it a year. And if nothing comes of it, but my own satisfaction, then great. Then it'll go in the satisfaction column and I'll get back to, earning.
I'd like to just throw in, after you do your first two projects, can you put ours back on the table and can we work
The only reason ours, of the many of ours, is not first, it's because it's already in progress and it didn't felt like a long enough runway. This one's been in the offing and been unfinished for a long time, and I feel like it just felt like this is the one. I'm going to get this one done.
I'm not asking to be first. I'm asking to be
Well, you are second. So, yeah.
I just want to be in queue.
Yeah, April 3rd. Yeah.
All right.
April 3rd.
I'm your bitch, April 3rd.
Unless I'm ahead of schedule, which I am frequently, but who knows. Unless I'm ahead of schedule, then, there you have it. Sorry on you, but you're going to have to read the draft when it's done. So, you can't write because you got to read. So,
when it's my turn on April 3rd, let's hope we are in contention for a shore house where you and I can just go and sit, look at the water, and just type.
That'll work.
Let's do it. Dear listener.
As they said on the masterclass, that was one of my favorite Christmas gifts this year. And I've already long known it, but just hearing it parroted back. There's no one can teach you to be a writer. The only way you become a writer is by writing.
By doing it. Which, by the way, she'll kill me for saying this. My daughter's a writer. She has 22 chapters in this fan fiction site that she's on.
Yeah, I think she knows it. If she has 22 chapters of something, she's not going to kill you. She already knows.
For saying it out loud to other people. She has fans who follow her and comment. Adults who are reading her shit. And it's
if you said it on TikTok, that'd be a different story.
Yeah, I don't make TikToks. I watch. I'm a voyeur. Does that surprise you?
No.
Welcome to the D Sharps. I don't sing. I watch. Hey guys, I appreciate you, and we wish, Amy and I both wish you the best 2021. We know it can't get worse, but we want it not to just get better, but to be great. And we have confidence that for each and every one of you listeners, it will be a great year, 2021. I mean, look what we have to compare it to. So
Amen to that, all the way around.
we love you.
Okay, guys, until next time.
Bye.